Hey, it's Lynn Brown. Welcome to the Gritty Women Global Podcast. I'm a results coach. And let me just go ahead and tell you, prior to that, up until now, I was a world-class people pleaser. And I was really just trapped by the opinions of other people. And in my spare time, I was caught in the comparison trap. So it was just more like living in a mental prison. It was not a life that I would want anyone to live. And then one day I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, but I just drew a line in the sand that day. And I thought, you know what? No more. And I began to change the way that I looked at things. And it was amazing because when I started looking at things in a different way, things began to change. Now, my life is not perfect. And if you're looking for the perfect people podcast, guess what? This is not it. So you might want to just keep scrolling. This is the real deal here. We're just real, we're raw, and we're relevant. So today I am so excited to introduce to you a new friend of mine. And she is from way across the pond in Canberra, Australia. I hope I said that right. And she is going to come on and share with us just the work that she is putting out into the world and the difference that she's making. So Alyson, I'm super excited to have you on today. Welcome to the Gritty Women Podcast. How are you today?
Hi, Lynn. Thank you for the welcome and thank you for the opportunity to talk to you and your listeners. I'm great, thank you. And I'm just so excited to be here. I can hardly talk, which is interesting because I talk a lot, but I'm so excited I'm finding it hard to speak.
Oh, now I know you're going to be able to, because we've connected a little bit, and I know we can do this thing. So we're so excited to have you with us today. Can't wait to hear your story.
Thank you.
So tell me, let me ask you this just right out of the gate, Alyson. Yeah. Just today, what are you most excited about? What's happening in your life, in your business?
Well, I'm most excited about just helping people to change their lives. So I have a lot of tools in my toolkit. I'm an empowerment and self-love coach and a Bling angel, which is a new tool that I've got in my toolbox. I'm an NLP master coach and hypnotherapist. And I've got a couple of people who have been contacting me recently because they want to make some mega changes in their lives. And they think hypnotherapy is the way to go. So that really fills my heart because there are some significant issues that people are dealing with. And as a coach, I sort of say, well, you can't, it's a bit like going to the gym. You can't sort of go once and expect it's all fine. You need to, and I sort of go with a minimum of 6 sessions, as you're a coach too, you'd know that, Lynn. But with hypnotherapy, one session, depending on what the issue is, one session can make a complete difference. I used to be quite claustrophobic. And this is a bit of a weird story. So I have a very small kitchen and my kitchen cupboards go under the bench, or I think you call them counters in North America. So I've got 2 cupboards that go under the counter. And because I have a small kitchen, I need all the space I can get. So I have to stick my head in there to get stuff from the corner, except that I couldn't because I was so afraid of being stuck there, not having air. But I did a hypnotherapy session during my training. And oh my God, I can now stick my head in the kitchen cupboard. How exciting is that?
Wow.
And I know many people
that's
find
such
that
a
exciting.
win, though. That's a huge win.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I don't have to ask anybody else now to get stuff from, inside the kitchen cupboard.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah, and it's only a small thing, and it's kind of a little bit of a bizarre thing, but it's amazing. That is an empowering thing for me. And I'm all about empowerment. So small things that are weird can change your life. And I can do that with people. It can be a small thing. It can be a big thing. In fact, I was talking to a lady whose sister has, she's wanting to write a book and she's finding it difficult to access some memories from when she was a child because she was in Cambodia and she saw some horrendous incidents, obviously. But she wants to write this book. So she was reaching out to see whether hypnotherapy would help. And it so can. So I haven't connected with her yet, but I would love to because I would just love to be able, and it's not something that I do because I'm wonderful. I'm a facilitator. I'm a vehicle or an instrument from the Lord or whatever your belief system is, that because I've also got the skills and tools now to help people to move through some significant issues in their life, as well as the small, trivial ones like my own. So that's all pretty exciting.
Wow, that is. And I think that's such a good point, because sometimes it's the little things, it's the tiny little day-to-day habits that we create, or the mindsets we choose to believe. Those are the things that can make us or break us sometimes. And so sometimes it can just be a little tweak in how we look at things or how we go about our day, just mastering a small project, or just overcoming a fear like you did, and it can make a huge difference in the results that we get in all other areas of our life. What type of person, client, do you look for and work with?
Well, basically, anybody that, if I feel I can help a person with whatever issue they're going through, then I'm happy to work with them. And if I can't, then either I will say, sorry, we're not a good fit, or I'll pass you on to somebody else who has the skill set that you need, but I don't possess. So anybody who wants to make a change in their life, and as coaches, we say that, your client has to be coachable. They have to be willing to not only listen to what you're saying, but they need to take the action, make the commitment to take the action to make the change. So as I said, I'm a self-love coach, particularly because to me, self-love is the key to all your success in life, in your personal life and in your business life. In business, we say you need to know, like, and trust. People need to know, like, and trust you to buy. But if you don't know, like, and trust yourself, that will show up. So, but how you feel about yourself will impact how you show up in life, whether, people can tell these days whether you're authentic or not. It will affect how you treat people. It will affect how you allow people to treat you, all based on your values and boundaries. And your values and boundaries are so integral to your self-love and your self-image. So that's basically what I do. And anybody who's feeling that they're stuck, or they've got self-sabotage happening, or procrastination, or all of those kind of, buzzwords that we hear, but are real things that stop people from moving forward in life. So my passion is, I used to say, it sounds a bit lofty, to make the world a better place one person at a time. And self-love, when people love themselves, they love everybody else. And that can definitely change the world.
That is so true. Such a great point. And it does start with us. The example, we hear it all the time. We don't necessarily, everybody doesn't believe it, but on the plane, put the oxygen on you first. You got to take care of you first, or you're no good to anyone else. So I love that you're just committed and passionate about this work in the world. And I don't think there's ever been a more important time than now to work with people to help them see their worth and their value, because it does drive our behavior. It really does.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, let me ask you this. How can people get in touch with you?
So my business is called Power Your Life Coaching, and my website is poweryourlifecoaching.com. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but you can find me on Facebook. I'm Alyson with a Y, Alyson Williams. Connect with me there, because I tend to hang out on Facebook more than LinkedIn or any of the other social media platforms. And I'd love to connect with people. I can definitely, my email is coach@pylcoaching.com. So coach@poweryourlifecoaching.com, but I've just shortened it to make it PYL coaching.
That is awesome. Well, and that is, I think it's great to, just to offer people to, give them your email, give them your Facebook, and say, connect with me, because that's how it all begins. And people, the listeners, they might need your services, or they might know of someone that could benefit, from your offering. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I've just got to ask you, you mentioned about being a Bling angel, and that's a tool that you have. What is that? Share with us.
Well, one of my lovely friends that I met through networking, she's also a coach. We ended by coincidence, we did our training at the same coaching school, but at different times. But she was also a Louise Hay trainer for over 10 years. So she has a huge background in personal development of one kind or another. And one of the things she used to do with her clients, most of whom were women, she created this fun game because she's a really fun girl. So she created this fun kind of board game, and she used to just bring it out for her clients. And then a few years ago, somebody said to her, "Where's that game you created? Let's play it." And so they did. And then somebody else said to her, "Why don't you actually put it out there for other people to play, to sell?" So she has done that. And now what she's used to do games nights at various sort of face-to-face events. But of course, now with COVID, we can do that online. But she then created a certification. Her mission is to heal hearts around the world. She experienced some domestic violence when she was a child. So she really has a passion for, bringing some joy and some love and some change to women and children who've experienced domestic violence. And part of the game, she was actually donating the proceeds to domestic violence shelters in Australia. And eventually what she wants to do is make sure that there's at least one game in every domestic violence center in Australia. And we'd love to take this to the world, which is why she's now certified 12 angels. And what we do is we now can play the game with people, but we also do card readings. So there are 800 cards in the game. He played like a normal sort of board game. There are 800 cards in 8 decks. Maybe I'm confusing people. 8 decks with 100 cards each. When your counter lands on the color, whatever deck it corresponds with, we pull out the card and then we talk about whatever your issue is that you want clarification on. So it's a really fun game.
Yeah, it just sounds amazing. So that's something else people can ask you about when they, connect and reach out to you. So thank you for giving us that extra little tip there on that. And we just, again, thank you so much for joining us today. And I always have to ask this. Now, this is the Gritty Women Global Podcast, and Gritty, the G stands for having a grateful heart. R is for resilience. I is for being an inspiration. The 2 T's are to think tough, and Y is you do you. Which part of Gritty resonates with you the most, Alyson?
Well, I'd like to think, Lynn, that each of those attributes are something that I aspire to or I embody. I've always been grateful. I definitely believe in gratitude. And gratitude actually got me to forgiveness, which is how I forgave my ex-husband for what I felt was betrayal in our marriage. And I've always been, unashamedly me. So you do you is very much me as well. But I love all those other attributes as well. So try to be inspirational as best I can. And thinking tough is important for us to just, go through all of life's little trials and tribulations.
Wow. Well, that's cool. You're definitely a gritty woman, and you fit right in our tribe and community. And thank you so much for being our special guest today. And thank you again, for all the listeners out there. The way that I got connected into Australia and New Zealand was by this amazing woman, Alyson. She invited me to join her Happy Neighborhood project and networking group, and it was just amazing. And they have just taken me in with such warmth, and they are the happiest people around. And so I just wanted to thank you, just shout that out to you all over the world. But thank you, Alyson, for being so gritty, so amazing, and for reaching out to me. So thanks again for joining us today. And, I would encourage you all to reach out to Alyson. She is an amazing human being. So until next time, we look forward to seeing you, hearing you and being with you on the next Gritty Women Global Podcast. Take care. And remember, gritty is the new strong.
Thank you very much.